Hello, welcome to Anime Mystics. I'm Roman, and tonight I am watching Chio-Chan no Tsuugakuro episode 4. So, last episode, we had a part 2 to the Bloody Butterfly section we had in episode 2. She was on her way to school, as usual, and she overheard somebody talking about the bloody butterfly. So she stopped where she was and looked back and noticed that the motorcycle gang member that she had accidentally beat up and convinced that she was some, like, super badass was telling his gang that he was leaving, explaining what happened. One of them was trying to, be tough and say, "No, I'm going to find this person and I'm going to beat them up." And he's like, "No, you don't want to do that." And she's thinking to herself, "Oh my God, this is going to get so much worse if I don't do something. It's just going to spread all over the place." And then she ends up getting behind all of them, and he notices her, and he's like sweating and getting nervous. And then she walks up beside them, and they're like, "This is her? I was expecting something else." But then she says she wants to talk to him alone. So he goes off with her. And she explains everything. That she's just a normal high school girl. That when she was trying to walk by his bike, she got burned by his exhaust or whatever that thing was. I don't know motorcycles or cars or anything like that, so I don't know parts. That bloody butterfly is her gamer tag. She explained everything. I mean, they don't show her explaining everything. She starts to, they cut, and then she's done. And she's thinking he's just going to be incredibly upset, like angry, and possibly try to kill her. Instead, he was more impressed that she was able to convince him that all of that stuff she said was true. And asked him basically not to spread any of that around anymore because it wouldn't be good for her. And he had a better idea instead, because he slammed his head against the wall, leaving like cracks on the wall, but it bloodied his forehead. He decided what he was going to do was he was going to go get close to his gang, fall to the ground, start screaming like she's beating him up, about to kill him, and scare them into running off or driving off. I think he was hoping they would do. 4 of them, I think. 3 out of the 4 ended up running off, and the one who said that he was going to find Bloody Butterfly and show her who's boss or whatever was the only one who was like, "No, I'm going to stay, I'm going to help you." And then the guy gets up, like grabs him and tells him that he better go or he's going to kill him. So he runs off. And he's like, "Oh, okay, they just left their motorcycles. What kind of motorcycle gang is this?" But he pretty much ensures her that they're not going to say anything and that she can go on with her life now. So they end up, going their separate ways, and then she finds out the name of their group. I think it was like the Starry Night Gang or something like that. Not very intimidating, but pretty sure they're tough. If you have a name like that, you're gonna have to be tough. 'Cause I'm pretty sure the other gangs are going to try to fight you thinking that you're, like, weak. Because she saw an article stating that he had left the gang. So, yeah. The second part, I think there was only 2 parts in this one. The second part was her and her friend. I can't remember her name. But they were walking to school, and her friend is asking Chio, why she doesn't try harder. Why she has this, like, I guess, goal of just being mediocre. Because she's very athletic. She's in a club. I think it's a tennis club or badminton club or something like that. But she's in some kind of sports club. And she just doesn't want to be noticed. She doesn't want anybody to... Like, because they were getting ready for, I think, a run during PE or something. And she was going to basically not try. And that's when her friend asks her, why? And she's like, because the moment they see that you could do it, they're going to expect you to do it every time. And I don't feel like doing that. So basically she feels if the teacher knows that she could run really good and really like pass the whatever test or whatever they were doing easily, then they're going to expect it every time. And she doesn't want to have to show any kind of effort or anything like that. She just wants to get through school without being noticed too much, which I think is already a failure. And then they start talking about this weird sport. Oh yeah, because she was saying, doesn't like sidesteps look kind of like this sport? And her friend makes a comment, and they start doing it and saying the name of it, and that's when the running girl. Actually, I'm gonna look up the names because I am just I can't not know their names. School Road. Okay. Here we go. Manana? That makes sense. I remember hearing that name. And let me see this. Oops, not that. I want this. Names. Yeah, Yuki Hosokawa. Okay. So it's Manana is her friend, and Yuki is the girl that likes to run. So Yuki shows up with this older classmate, I think a third year. Really tall, big, like wide kind of shoulders and stuff like that. And she's the captain of the club. I think she's the captain of the club for the sport that they were kind of making fun of. And because they were kind of wondering about it, and for some reason she overheard their conversation, grabbed her, brought her over to explain the rules and everything that go to the sport because they seemed interested. And she starts explaining the rules to the game. I cannot remember the name of the sport. Let me see if they show her here. They probably do. No. Kabaddi, yeah. The Kabaddi club. What's her name? Madoka. Oh. Okay, well that should be easy to remember. Alright, so she's like the captain of the Kabaddi club. And I guess what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to like move side to side and say Kabaddi, Kabaddi, Kabaddi. And then when you go, you're supposed to touch the people on the other team and then run back to your side before they grab you and like hold you down. If they hold you down, you end up losing. Like you have to go out, I believe. And if you touch them all and go to back to your side without them getting you, then all of the people you touched are out. So she explains the rules, and then they end up giving it a test run. Basically, they made a bet where if they lose, they have to join the club. So her friend Manana goes first. God, what do they call them? Whatever. Anyway, she goes first and she runs onto the other side after doing her thing. And Madoka ends up like tackling her to the ground and like crawls on top of her and like just holds her there. So she's out. And then Yuki goes on her side and Chio is actually pretty athletic. She got by without having Yuki touch her and actually made it to her turn. In order to do this properly, though, she made her own little rules up in her head to make it seem more like a video game. Basically, she had to cast a spell saying Kabaddi, and anybody she touches would explode. So she had to run to the other side, touch both of them, get back to her side in order to keep from having to join the club. So she goes over. She ends up missing Madoka, and Madoka grabs her by the arm. She took this opportunity to run, kind of slide underneath Yuki, take Madoka's arm and have it like turn around and grab Yuki by like the waist of her skirt, and then she touches both of them and walks off to her side. And that's when Chio basically tells her that she noticed that when she tackled Manana, that she kind of got a little excited over that. Same with her putting her hand on Yuki's skirt. Basically saying that she likes girls. And that seems to be more of what she's into than the game. And she was trying to deny that, but then said, "Okay, well, why is your arm still, between Yuki's legs and stuff?" Because her arm was going all the way up like this, like in between her legs. And she's like, "Well, go ahead and move your arm, get it out." And she starts bringing her arm down, and instead of pulling it out, she like starts grabbing Yuki's butt. And Yuki's like, "Oh, what are you doing?" And she basically finally admitted it. So they didn't have to join the club, and she was basically outed as a lesbian. So I'm assuming she's going to make more appearances, because she does show up in the theme. But anyway, I've talked about this long enough. It's already been 13 minutes. So let's get into the episode and see what we're up for. Let's see what volume do I got this at. Turn you up. Alright, so the video is going to be located over here, and the link to the reaction is going to be in the description down below. And we're going to start this episode in 3, 2, 1.